Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, we're 1 week away from draft night when the Chiefs will make 2 selections in the first round of the NFL Draft. Who's ready? I know I am. If you are too, then like this video, shooting for 500 plus likes on today's show. If you're fired up for the draft, then all you got to do is like this video. Welcome into the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, reacting to Todd McShay and Mel Kiper's 3-round mock draft. So they do this every year for ESPN where they just alternate picks. Kiper goes, McShay goes, yada, 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 through the first 3 rounds. And, well, since the Chiefs have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, I thought we'd react to those 6 selections that Kansas City ended up with, see how Mel and Todd did this time around. All right, we'll start in round 1, pick number 29. Jahan Dotson, the wide receiver out of Penn State, who we've talked about a little bit here on this show. I think he's a potential wide receiver target for Kansas City. Good speed, excellent after the catch. I think he can play some slot or some outside. He's versatile in that way, good route runner. And he can be your punt returner if you want him to be. Did a little bit of that in college. We'll see what the Chiefs' plans are with McCole Hardman in that regard this year. Speaking of Hardman, I think he could kind of be your long-term replacement there if, say, Hardman doesn't get a new deal after this year, since he is entering a contract season. You throw him into this offense. Be interesting to see where exactly he would fit in as a rookie with Juju, Hardman, and Valdes-Scantling, but I do think it would be more depth, more competition, and I think he'd be a great fit in this offense. He'd give you some more speed, which obviously you lost some with Tyreek Hill, and then, it would be kind of that smaller, speedy guy in general that the Chiefs typically like. They've obviously shifted this offseason to some more size with Valdes-Scantling and with Juju Smith-Schuster, but we know they're comfortable with players like Jahan Dotson. Really good development at Penn State, as that usually happens. Penn State has some good pros, typically year in and year out. Early on, got some playing time, 5 touchdowns his sophomore year, and then past 2 seasons really took off. And that COVID-shortened 2020 had almost 900 yards and 8 touchdowns, and then 2021, his best season at Penn State, 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns. So got a little bit better every year, explosive, big play potential. I think he would fit in really well in Kansas City. Make sure you guys subscribe to us here at the Chiefs Report for more Chiefs news, rumors, draft, free agency coverage, and more videos throughout the offseason. Live shows every Monday as well. And I think there's a pretty good chance we will go live during round 1 of the NFL Draft. So mark your calendars, subscribe, and join us every single day here on the Chiefs Report. 1 pick later, round 1, pick 30, David Ajabo, the edge rusher out of Michigan, was the selection here in Kiper and McShay's 3-round mock draft. Obviously, Ajabo tore his Achilles at his pro day, but was projected to be a top 15 pick before that, maybe even top 10 as a really high upside pass rushing type of player. Now, obviously, the risk here is you may not have him for an entire season. He could miss all of 2022 with the torn Achilles, but maybe he gets back for the stretch run and you add a pass rusher for the back, third of the season and on into the playoffs. Worst case scenario, he's fully ready to go for 2023, and since you drafted him in the first round, you would have that extra year because of the 5th-year option. 12 sacks last year for Michigan. I like him a lot. His pure pass rushing ability might rival that of Aiden Hutchinson, but Hutchinson's a better, run stopper overall player. But I think at pick 30, if you're getting a guy that has 10-plus sack potential, I think that's pretty good value, even if he's going to miss a lot of his rookie year. Now, obviously, that doesn't help you this year, at least right away, and you need guys right away that can rush the passer. So if you draft Ajabo, you either need to go draft another edge or go sign one in free agency to help fill out this front 4, because I don't think this is a complete unit by any means whatsoever. Better pick. Which one do you like better? Type JD for Jahan Dotson. Type DO for David Ajabo. I'd probably go Dotson because he'd be an immediate impact guy, but I think both players could be really, really good. All right, round 2, pick number 50, Roger McCreary, the cornerback out of Auburn. That's where Kiper and McShay opted to go here. Now, obviously, McCreary, I think, could help, right? I mean, you've got 2 starting corners. Does Snead stay at nickel? Okay, if he does, you probably need a draft pick or a free agent at CB2. Maybe you put Snead on the outside and draft a nickel. I like McCreary better as a nickel, as a slot corner, so I would wonder if they draft him, if they would put him at nickel and Snead on the outside, only because McCreary's arms are very short. T-Rex type of arms. And that just makes it difficult as an outside corner in the NFL, playing these big physical receivers. If you can't extend with those shorter arms, the technique really, really needs to be strong, which it is for McCreary. I just think I like him even better as a slot cornerback. All right, 3 more picks to go here on McShay and Kiper's 3-round mock draft. But speaking of the draft, we're going to be live on Chat Sports for all 7 rounds and for every single pick. And unlike ESPN, where they just get into weird interviews that no one really cares about, we give you insight and analysis to every single selection for all 32 NFL teams. Join us. Subscribe to Chat Sports, youtube.com/chatsportstv. We'll be live Thursday, April 28th through Saturday the 30th for all 7 rounds of this year's draft. All right, let's keep it going with Kiper and McShay here. Round 2, pick number 62. Alec Pierce, the wide receiver out of Cincinnati. This is a fun pick here. Good size, good speed on the outside. He's big and fast, and it kind of seems like there is a little bit of a shift at receiver to what the Chiefs are doing with Juju, who's a big receiver, with Valdez-Scantling, who's 6'2", 6'3". He's got some size. Pierce does as well at about 6'3", 6'4". Had 884 yards last year. You see the yards per catch at 17. He really has big play potential. Good run blocker as well at the receiver position. If you get him and Jahan Dotson, you're loaded with depth at receiver. So I like that quite a bit. Sets you up nicely for this year and for the future as well. What is the biggest draft need for the Chiefs, as we're just, like I said, 1 week away from the NFL draft? Is it receiver? Is it edge? Is it a different position, corner, safety? I want to know from you guys, biggest draft need for the Chiefs right now. All right, round 3 we go. DeAngelo Malone, the edge rusher out of Western Kentucky. I like the position choice here because, like I said, Ajabo may not be able to help you at all in year 1. And Malone, I think in the 3rd round, he's not the most physically imposing player, but he had 34 sacks in college. Now, playing lesser competition, but experience, production, all that stuff is there. So I think on day 2 of the draft, that is certainly a worthwhile selection. And then a few picks later at number 103, comp pick for Kansas City. Elsewhere on the defensive line, Nick Farrell Jr. out of LSU, the defensive tackle. So you add an interior defensive lineman as well. And I think that's important because you could use some depth at that spot. So there you go. 6 picks in the books for Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. Grade this 3-round mock draft from those guys, A, B, C, D, or F. I'll go B+. Overall, obviously, Ajabo doesn't help you this year. At least may not be able to help you at all. We'll see when he gets back from that Achilles. But like the Dotson pick, like the Pierce pick, like a couple of the other ones as well. All right, we're going to sign off here on the Chiefs Report. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will continue to bring you videos on a daily basis here on this YouTube channel. So subscribe, and we'll see you next time.